Level 1, Stone Age, 0 megabits per second. 0 megabits. You are not on the internet. You are sending a bird. This is not a slow connection. This is no connection. A web page does not load slowly. It does not load. A file does not transfer sluggishly. It does not transfer. 0 means 0. But here is what nobody talks about. Losing internet changes your behavior. You stop trying things. You stop sending files. You quietly shrink what you do online, and you never notice it happening. That silent shrinking is the real cost, not the outage itself, the giving up. Nobody chooses this level. It chooses you. One day the router dies, the line goes down, and suddenly everything you assumed was just there isn't. The first real level of internet, what governments officially called broadband for years, is not much better. And the reason why tells you something uncomfortable about how the industry works. Level 2, Iron Age, 5 megabits per second. 5 megabits, the first real connection. And for years, officially legally, this was the definition of broadband in the United States. Let that sink in. The Iron Age was progress, relative to sharpened rocks. That is exactly the energy of 5 megabits per second, better than nothing. Completely unprepared for what the modern world actually demands. Email works, just about. On your own, a video plays, a page loads. You can exist on the internet. The moment a second person touches the connection, a call drops, a download crawls. 2 people, 3 devices, a smart TV trying to do anything, straight back to Stone Age conditions. The household breaks the level it is living in. Here is the thing nobody puts in the brochure. The speed on your plan is your download speed. Upload, which determines your video call quality, your cloud backups, your ability to send anything at all, is almost never advertised. You are not getting what you think you are getting. You never were. The next level is where most people discover that the number on the box and the number in real life are not the same thing. Level 3, Medieval Age, 25 megabits per second. 25 megabits. Welcome to civilization, relative civilization. The medieval age built cathedrals and had no idea the Renaissance was coming. That is 25 megabits per second exactly. Genuinely capable. Completely unaware of its own ceiling. Multiple streams at once. 4K on the main TV. Video calls that look like faces and not wet cardboard. Gaming that does not rubber band you into walls. For a household of 3 or 4 people doing normal things, this is the whole goal. You stop noticing the internet. Peak hours might drag, but nothing breaks. That invisibility is the benchmark everything above this is measured against. Upload still lags. Quietly. Download gets the glamorous number on the box. Upload stays behind, hoping you do not notice. Most people assume they need more speed. They need a better router. The one your ISP gave you for free is almost certainly throttling speeds you are already paying for. Not hypothetically, measurably, right now. From this point on, the story stops being about buffering entirely. It becomes about something completely different, and most people never see it coming. Level 4, Modern Era, 100 megabits per second. 100 megabits. This is the point where your internet stops being the problem. Full stop. The modern era is where infrastructure became invisible. Railways, electricity, running water. Things that just worked. Nobody celebrated them. Nobody thought about them. That is exactly what happens at 100 megabits per second. Downloads that used to take an hour take minutes. A 40 gigabyte game update is done before your food arrives. Multiple streams, video calls, gaming, smart devices, all at once, no drama. You stop thinking about your internet entirely. The weakest link is no longer your plan. It is your router. The box blinking in the corner you have not thought about since you plugged it in. That box is almost certainly your actual ceiling. You could double your real-world speed without changing your plan. A €60 router upgrade. ISPs actively benefit from you not knowing this. A faster plan means more revenue. A hardware upgrade means none. The next level is called gigabit, 1,000 megabits. And the truth about what it actually changes in daily life is one of the most genuinely surprising things in this entire video. Level 5, the future. 500 megabits per second to 1 gigabit per second. Gigabit, 1,000 megabits per second. The plan that sounds like winning. We are in the future now, or at least that is what the marketing says. And here is the honest truth. For a single person doing normal things, you will not feel the difference between gigabit and 200 megabits per second. Not one bit. YouTube does not load faster. Netflix does not look better. Because the internet is no longer the bottleneck. You are paying for a fire hose and drinking through a straw. The fire hose is real. The straw is your hardware. The straw has always been your hardware. That part never changes with the plan. Gigabit earns its keep for large households, home servers, daily professional uploads. For those people, the upgrade is worth every cent. For everyone else, peace of mind. Or bragging rights. Both valid, neither necessary. And honestly, there is nothing wrong with that. Beyond gigabit, there is a level that makes 1,000 megabits look modest. And what is being sold there is not bandwidth, it is something else entirely. And the gap between what it promises and what it delivers is larger than any level before it. Level 6, beyond the future. 2.5 gigabits per second plus. 2.5 gigabits, 5, 10. Some providers offer 10 gigabit residential plans right now. Beyond the future. Every era that called itself ahead of its time was selling something. The World's Fair sold nuclear-powered vacuum cleaners. Right now, ISPs are selling bandwidth your house cannot physically use. The numbers are staggering and almost entirely theoretical. Most consumer routers and home setups physically cap out before the connection does. You could be paying for 5 gigabits per second and receiving 1 gigabit per second anyway, because the router is the ceiling, not the plan. Using it requires replacing your router, cables, network card, possibly your switch, a full project before a single real-world benefit. There is comfort in knowing your connection is not the problem, even when nothing was ever the problem. That is the real product being sold at this level. Not bandwidth, the feeling of being ahead.